crap. You've spent way too much money on the property, way too much money in construction. What do? Let's get started. Okay, so you're in a situation where your budget just went out of control. It's common, it happens. I've always, I've had problems as well. I shouldn't say always. I've had problems as well because things do come up, right? Cost of materials goes up, cost of labor goes up. You'll read a lot of articles across the country with a lot of these new builds. These buyers are coming in, buying it just when it's in phase one, just the lot, so they lock in a low price, but then everything else goes up and now the builders are screwed because their margins keep getting thinner and thinner. So what do you do if you've overspent on the property? Well, you have a couple of options because it depends on what your goals were. So first and foremost, you could live in it and enjoy it, right? Let's say you were planning on flipping it. Let's say you're planning on renting it out and the numbers just don't work. Maybe it makes sense to turn it into your personal residence, then rent out wherever you're living, right? So that becomes a new rental and it allows you to refinance if you need to because it's owner occupied and you can possibly get a lower interest rate, right? So you can start saving some money there. The other option, I've actually talked about this with one of my upcoming clients, is he spent a lot of money on the finishes in a neighborhood that doesn't really command it as far as rentals are concerned. More importantly, because of the amount of money that was spent, if let's say someone chips the countertops or they ruin the appliances because he put such high-end stuff in there, it's actually going to cost him more to maintain it than it would actually keep it as a rental. So therefore we talk about like, well, why don't you live in it, which is what they're doing, and then sell it because the market might at least give you some of that money back because they're going to appreciate those higher end finishes. So something to think about. So you can turn it into your primary residence, you can sell it, or you just house hack and you live with it. With me and my wife, we moved into our ADU, our accessory dwelling unit, and rented out the main house because we ran into issues. We had just about our budget pretty tight. Yeah, there were some surprises, but things happen, and we had the money set aside for that. But then we had all these delays from the city. Well, your carrying costs are super expensive. So, we said, look, we can live in the main house, but financially that doesn't make sense. We need to move into the ADU, and it was still primary residence, so we were able to refinance twice. We ended up dropping our bills by like over $1,100 a month we're able to save between the refinances. So you can imagine how great that is. So if you've overspent on a property, you don't know what to do with it, you can either convert it to your primary residence, you can sell it to hopefully maybe make back some of that money, or you could house hack, rent out a part of it to kind of start recouping those costs and let the market appreciate. I'd love to get your thoughts and, hear your horror stories, because the reality is we all learn when we share our successes and, our mishaps. I don't want to call them failures because they're not failures. One of the great things about real estate is that it's very healing over time, right? It's very forgiving. Real estate is forgiving. You wait long enough, you're going to get some of that money back. Even if the market starts doing this, it's always doing this and going up and up and up over the long run. And that's what history has shown us. So love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you're watching this. And you guys have a great rest of your day.